Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to finish up our bauxite, or at least start on it drastically. I've been busy in the background, letting the game run a little bit. That way we can find out whether or not our water solution is going to actually work. So let me show you. I'm back here at base. I'm going to cut it quite a bit here because our bauxite is way over there up on that cliff. Remember, bauxite is all in the middle of the map, but I'm going to go ahead and select some of these things and show you also some
Milestone
goodies.
Reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark 5. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations. Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
Thank you, Ada. This is awesome. Okay. Here's a blender recipe that we can do for turbo fuel. It doesn't use coal, so that's nice. It just uses sulfur and, of course, oil. And then we can use the petroleum coke byproduct to make the turbo fuel, which is wonderful. Definitely selecting that. There's a couple of other things that I unlocked. Like I said, I've been running this a little bit here and there. Go ahead and start another one before I forget. I finally got the one that I was hoping to get, which is diluted fuel. You'll see how powerful this is. It uses a blender, so you have to unlock the blender before you start hammering through hard drives. That's why I've been just beating hard drives to death. With the help of water, it changes this heavy oil residue. It doubles it into that, and water is so abundant, it's ridiculous, you know. So super, super, super overpowered. Love this recipe. You can do the same basic thing here with diluted package fuel. You'll just be packaging the fuel more. It becomes a whole thing. It's quite ugly and gets involved. But if you do end up doing something like this, whenever you fill these and then empty them, you need to have a loop back to the beginning in order to get them refilled again, and then it just keeps going and going. You could sink them, but that'd be a waste. Put a storage container and then fill that storage container up almost halfway. That way there's always some of these being made, and then you can stop making them and you can just use the same ones over and over and over again. Man, don't care. Okay. Sloppy alumina. This is wonderful as well. It's going to take your bauxite with water, which is what we already did, right? And make alumina, but there's no byproduct with the silica. And you'll notice it goes further, 200 bauxite, going to 240 a minute of the alumina solution. That's really good as well. So I'm not going to rip everything down and start over. But there is a better place to do alumina, which is the swamp. It's very dangerous, but if y'all want to see that, let me know. Go ahead and select that. The way I have it in my hot little hands, and I don't mistakenly hit rescan. And then we got this, the electrode aluminum scrap. This will take that alumina solution plus petroleum coke, so I don't need coal, and then create aluminum scrap with, once again, a byproduct of water. But this will get rid of the coal out of that whole situation. That's nice too. That means if there's anywhere like the far west side of the map that you don't have coal, but you do have some oil, you can do this. That's nice. There's another place you can do that too. So I know there's bauxite, so there's oil all in here. I know there's bauxite up here. You can see this bauxite, of course. But if you pull that down, of course, there's coal up here already. At least this one is up. This is all elevated in this area. But then, once again, I haven't even explored this. It's a nightmare zone with tons of toxic animals. So there's been a lot of hopping out and then coming back. I didn't want to do that without you. There is silica up here that you can make in order to pump down and to get, and this is all water over here, and there's like 2 or 3 bauxites. There's some copper. This is the optimal place to do all that fun stuff. Oh man, you're already back? I figured we were gonna have to do the rest of another episode because I don't want to keep coming back. Come on and land. What's up, buddy? Oh, there's the moth. All right, let's go ahead and select another one while we're at it. We'll go ahead and do hover pack. I'm not going to do hazmat suit. Probably on camera. Boom. Okay, hover pack.
Milestone reached. The hover pack draws energy from nearby power connections and so can only be used in their vicinity. It provides an excellent vantage point of your work, which you clearly need. Otherwise, you would have optimized that obvious problem by now.
Okay. So in the bottom left-hand corner here, you'll see this little radio menu for the hover pack. If you hit spacebar again, now you're hovering. There's no more tap, 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 tap. But you have to be around a device. You'll see electricity fly between you and another device. Probably that. You're connecting to another electrical node. Now you can only go so high. I'm hitting spacebar to go up higher. Of course, it's going to connect to that. If you get to a point to where you're too far away from everything, you will fall. See the exclamation mark? If I stop right there, I'm still good, right? But if I go a little further away and it drops all the way to nothing, I'll fall. Now, you can hit spacebar at the last second and you have a small boost to stop yourself from dying. All right. Now, something that will confuse the hell out of every single person that plays this game. You will go to a crash site. The crash site says, hey, I need 30 power. You'll build your one biomass generator. You'll fill it, connect it to the thing, and the circuit immediately trips. And you'll say, what is wrong? It only needs 30. The biomass generator needs 30. And it's because of your hover pack. It gets everybody. Your hover pack takes power. It uses 100 power. So as soon as you put fuel in it, it's going to trip because it's only that. Simple solution is to take it off. I'm obviously not going to do that while I'm here up in the air. By the way, if you hit C twice, you fall. So that's how you drop back down. All right. I'm going to cut and go back to our bauxite area. I shall return. Okay, I lied. I wanted to show y'all exactly how close the moth gets to this tower that I made. He skirts right over the top. I didn't do that by design. But boy, he gets right there. Don't you, buddy? And yes, you can pet the moth. I feel like Jasmine. Are you showing me a whole new world, man? All right. So, anyways, enough playing around. I'll see you up there. Okay, welcome back. So here we are again. I went through this all once. Realized I still had it paused. That's why the pause button is definitely dangerous. Thank God for 2 screens. I would have got done with the whole episode and not realized. Okay, so here we are. Last episode, we worked on this. I'll go over it as brief as I can. Bauxite's coming in. 480, that was our maximum belt speed at the time. Now we're actually faster at Mark 8s, but we don't have an infinite amount of those sheets yet. That's going to be another problem for another day. And I'm not rebuilding this just to make up for that. So let me go over here, and before I get into that, I know I got another hard drive. What did we get? What did we get? Oh, man. What was the old recipe? Still uses that. Uses less of that, but we use rubber. Okay, we're getting more into the realm of we need flying machines or a large railroad station that would take me probably 2 weeks to build. You can do that. Go for it. So once again, 480 split to 240 down to 120 a line. I've been letting this run for a good 5-6 hours while I built other stuff off to the side. I needed to build a silicate, or not silicate, I'm sorry, crystal oscillator factory. And that's a pain and it's super ugly, but hey, whatever. It's filling my dimensional storage. That's all I care about. Okay. So remember the water coming in. Water is what trips everybody up about silicate. Okay. Each one of those guys is 360, right? 360. Whoop, if I can type right. Divided by 3 is 120. The water extractors do 120 a pop. So when we first started the system, I had 3 per side, 3 there and 3 there. And I split it because, of course, 360 and 360 is 720. These Mark II pipes can only do 600. There are no Mark IIIs. So I split it in 2. One side does one side does the other. Nice and simple. Okay. Of course, you need a pump on each side, one there and one over there. Nothing crazy. Keep your pipes full. Remember, a full pipe is a happy pipe. Start up the water extractors before you turn stuff on. Once you get power to them, don't have the bauxite come yet. Let it all fill up. I don't want them. I want these reservoirs full, okay? And the pipes to be 100% full. Then it's just pulling from downstairs, and I do not care. It'll work great, all right? Okay, once all that's done, pull in the bauxite, let these pipes fill, all right? I don't need the silica, so I'm sinking it just to get rid of it. Remember, if it fills up with this or it fills up with silica, it's going to stop up. Now, let's say this does start up and this is full. What you can do is drag and drop it to the trash can and that'll delete it. Okay, that's how you can get stuff out. It's not a long-term solution. It's a very, very short-term solution. So don't assume you can just do that. All right. And then we have these guys. Once again, the reservoirs are full and they're just pumping out. Now, the trick on these is we need coal. So I've got a little truck bringing coal in. I didn't like how it stopped and I was going to sink it. But what'll happen is you'll sink the entire truck's inventory, or the truck station's inventory, and then this will lag behind. So I'm just dealing with it and not worrying about it for now. Okay. Now, once we're on the back end of this guy, he produces water as a byproduct. This is what messes everybody up as far as the bauxite refinery. I pulled it over into a fluid buffer just to give it somewhere to sit. Just the excess. Doesn't have to be a big one. Then I deleted one of the 3 on this side and the water goes to it. Because they do 120 a minute. He's giving us 120 a minute. Now let's say we wanted to do that other bauxite. Let's say we built a refinery that used that new recipe we just got. Well, it's not as scary as you think. Okay. Sloppy. Here we go. Aluminum scrap. It's what it's used in here. This electrode aluminum scrap. Let's say we decided to build one of these over by an oil refinery. Well, it's going to pump out water. Quite a bit of water too. So let's see what kind of water he'll pump out. He pumps out 105 a minute. Okay. So that's scary. It's not 120, it's 105. What are we going to do? We would just leave the third one in line and do the math. 105 minus 120. We would knock him down to 15. You just go into your extractor, select this, until at 15 and hit enter. It'll auto adjust. Just like that. Now he'll produce very little, but the math will then work out as long as your pipes are full. A full pipe is a happy pipe. Do not underestimate that. All right. That's as complicated as it gets. It's not a big deal. Okay. There is the swamp over off to the side, which is where I prefer to build my aluminum area. If you want me to build over here, let me know in the comments. It's very nice. Silica's up here, which we really don't need. We have bauxite, we have copper, which we need, and then we have we even have limestone, so we could get rid of all the excess water without looping it back into the system if this is too complicated. It's a very, 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 very dangerous area, so be very careful. Okay. All right. You know, it's funny about being over here. I've been building over here for a couple hours, and I didn't realize there's a crash site right there. I went over this way and I looked back and saw the smoke and was like, whoa, what the? Really? I'm right by a crash site. Clueless about it. All right, where are the baddies at? My truck. Oh, we need a turbo motor. Well, we are almost there anyways. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, there's a turbo motor. Hey, that worked out well, didn't it? All right. Huh, and more, man, that was a cooling system. I'll say another turbo motor. Those heavy frames are hard to come by. They're a pain to build. I'll have to build a whole factory just for those stinking things. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Okay, so once again, we are actually, we could 36 and 36, 780. We could do it with, I don't care to. I already have it split nice and even on one side and the other. Okay, we're going to make a manifold system. Now, manifold systems are a little scary, but they're annoying to a small point. But trust me, it's not as bad, and you can accelerate their input if you want. And we want remember, I don't have those sheets yet, so I don't like the supports. Okay, so while they're filling up, and there's a reason for my madness there. Well, twofold. One, if they fill all the way up, this whole system will stop, and that'll really cause problems since they're also producing some of our water. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need smelters to do this. How do I want to do that? I guess we'll build off to the side. You might be okay. Yes. Know our addiction to hard drives. Yes, yes. What do we got? What do we got? That's a different version of what we just saw, isn't it? It doesn't use rubber. And it doesn't use screws. Huh. That might be actually pretty good. Right now, I'm just unlocking all these hard drives. Get out the maybe. Alright. So what we're going to do is a different method. Normally I would split it 6 ways, which would be comes in 360, split to the side. Split to the middle, split to the side. So 1 becomes 3, and each 3 goes to 2. So that's 2, 4, 6. Nice and simple. It'll be nice and even, nice and pretty. But let's do a different style. This is a manifold system. If you hate the math, all you got to know is how many do I need? We can go in here, go into pure ingots, and say, okay, 60 is what we need. Each line produces 360. That's where we get 6 from. So then you can just count over. I like putting them in the middle. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you put down your splitters. Make sure it's looking back at that guy. He's not in the middle. He's off a little, just like me. So 1, 2. Don't know why I'm counting. And you don't have to do this, but why not for symmetry's sake? Now, this is the problem with the manifold system. Did I put those back? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. It's one of those days, isn't it? Now, it doesn't matter which direction you build this from belt-wise. The problem you end up with is you have to wait for each machine to fill up 100%. They also need power. What do they do? Skip 2. Okay. Now what's going to happen is he's going to start filling. Now this is the thing. If you run it to the next one, they're not going to get hardly anything. So you'll notice he's working pretty fast. They're starting. These guys are going to stagger like crazy. Look at that. Like crazy. They're going to stagger. Now, one way you could do it is to do it one at a time. Let him fill. Once all these stop on the conveyor, you're golden. Now, another thing is I'll let these guys run and fill themselves up. And the reason why is I want them to stop. So if they fill up with these sheets, then they're fine. So if I take these out, throw them in. So if the output fills, it'll stop, and this stacks to 500, so it'll take a bit. Now it's going to stop. And then it stops. And you can do this one at a time. Or we have 5 more. Hey, there's a reason I did this. Or you could just go in here and manually fill it. Because I was slick enough to turn around and... Oop, wrong button. There. And now the whole line will fill up. All right. So now the math will work out. These will not stagger anymore. So if you wait, you're going to have to wait for everything to eventually fill up. But doing it this way, same thing. And you don't have to do the math. Well, you didn't have to do the splitting. You can just do this. So there's nothing wrong with this. It does take a while for it to rev all the way up if you don't use a container. Nice and simple. And now we'll just duplicate it on this side here. So on this line, we're going to not be a doofus this time. We're going to put it right. I know. I'm shocked as well. Yep, perfect. I wasn't counting. That's 4, 5, and 6. Make sure you're not using smart splitters. All right. And then we need electricity. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad. I ran power from a Mark II. So these will all be Mark IIs as well. All right. So now this side's stopped up. Guess what? Haha. There's my stacks on that side. So, All right. Then we can move everything out on this side. It's going to overhang a little bit, but you know what? I really don't care at this point. Or I could just have it go into wall outlets. All right, so let's see what we need on the next side. So we got 30 times 6. 30 times 6 is 180. You saw my constructors earlier that I deleted. I'm just figuring out the math. So, casting. So we have 180 divided by 90. is a whopping 2. Okay. So we need to merge it, and then we can split it between 2 different ones. And then the other thing that we need is not on this list, is it? You're not on this list. You're not. What in the world do I need to make you? Is it it's an assembler, isn't it? All right, these alcad sheets. Now, alcad sheets are a pain, and the reason why they're a pain is they need copper ingots. Unfortunately, there is no alternate recipe for alcad aluminum sheets. You're doing exactly this. Now, how do I know that? You can go in here, and if you go in this, you'll notice recipes, it has 1, and that's it. If any other device has, or any other thing has multiple recipes, and you don't know it yet, it'll have a question mark. So somewhere there's a limestone recipe. We can create limestone magically, whatever that is. Here we're missing one, right? It's locked. We might have already unlocked it. We just haven't selected it inside of our MAM. But that's how I know. That's super fancy. I don't know why I would care that much about Deuterium. You see how much we use it. All right. So with this guy, it looks like we need 30 a minute of this, and then we need copper ingots. This is why building this factory in an area that copper is already present is very, very handy. What I can do is I'm actually going to build a railroad and pull it down here. There's copper here. I'm going to pull it down to this water, make a bunch of ingots, and then have the railroad come up here, drop it off. I might even go all the way around, pick it up, and then go all the way back up. So I'm probably just going to make a loop with it. Once again, over here in the swamp, all of it's right there. You could just, like, it's literally right next to it. If you expand this toward the copper, heck, you'll be on top of it in no time. Because you see how a little bit involved this becomes. Okay, so since this side needs 30 a minute and this side needs 90, and both of those, 6 times 30 is 180. 180 divided by 90. Perfect. 30. Perfect. One side can do aluminum. One side can do alcad sheets. In this case, I'm probably going to have the alcad sheets be on this side, since my railroad I'm planning on bringing in will come through in this area. I don't think. Let me get a bird's eye view. I guess I could bring it around that side too. It's not so bad. That way I'm not going over my coal dude. Although I could get rid of him and just have it stop at a second train station, pick up coal, go all the way back down, come back up and drop the coal off along with the aluminum. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. So once again, we'll be building him over there. And him over here. Because I want to think of it one way and the other, and that's it. Now, I could just expand this out further if I wanted to. Or I can go straight out this direction. We're not too worried. And today I'm pressed for a little bit of time. So you'll notice that today's episode is going to be shorter than normal, which is okay. I don't know why I cared about that, but okay. All right, so this side, this is the side that's going to get 3 of these guys. That'll be super simple. So once again, we can do a manifold juncture just like we did before. Boom. Make sure the green is facing the correct way. And then we can expand this out to 3 of them bad boys. I deleted it. All right. 1, 2. Come on, you stinker. 3. And once again, we can do the same thing here. Splitter. Pointing toward. Make sure you get your arrows facing the correct way. And once again, we could just loop that one, but why not? When building close like this, if you go and it doesn't match, change through your build modes. It could be just one curve doesn't like curve and whatever. Sometimes that's a problem. Okay, and now you're going to come over here. Did I not select the... Oh, I didn't select it. Casings, please. And remember, you can hit copy. And then jump to the next one. Hold down Control and hit V. And you'll see it says paste. You don't have to go into them every time. All right. So now... Once again, mergers. Well, where do we want this box here? Don't want it too crammed. Do want it facing the correct way. And then what I like to do is put a dimensional storage on top. That way, anything we put in this guy is going to... Ah, that was a splitter. We want a merger. We want to go in that way. Boom. Oh, what are we doing? Merger. Pretty merger. There, in line with everything. That was the wrong way, wasn't it? I'm gonna rush. All right. All right. Well, we're not going to run out of these anytime soon. So the dimensional storage I like because it's just going to constantly fill it until my dimensional storage is full. You'll notice how my inventory is nice and neat. Check this box and then go out into the world and just make a setup like this that will make everything. I'm never out of cluster nobelisks because as soon as I grab some, boop, 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 I have this exact same setup way over that direction. Just for cluster nobelisks and regular nobelisks and homing ammo and iron beams and concrete and oh my, oh my, oh my. So it really helps. By the way, if you find yourself needing to find something like homing ammo, you can hit pin and it'll throw it to the top of the list. So I've been lazy and haven't done that. Now I've got all 3 of those pinned directly to the top. Those are the things I'm most commonly pulling out manually to fill my inventory because that's really what I'm doing. You can also use the search function. All right. So then this side, it's going to be the same thing. Now, I've cheated a little bit, and what I've done is I've actually made a dimensional depot for copper ingots. And what I'm going to do is fill my inventory up, and then it's going to continually fill. I did the same thing as I did there, and then I'll have it start making the outcad while I'm building my railroad and all that jazz. So you get the idea as far as that goes. I'll work on this side here, produce that up, and I've got to run. And like, subscribe if you found it informational. If you like what I'm doing, let me know, please. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to nobody, which, sometimes I need a professional opinion. I'm talking to myself, right? All right, folks. Y'all have a great day.